In this video, we will remove the feed regulator and feed fork from this early model Singer 99. Let's get started. So this 99 has the early screw type stitch length regulator, not the numbered levers like you see on the later models. So to get this out isn't too hard, and we should remember that in the last video, when we removed the feed rock shaft, we went ahead and we freed up the end of the feed fork here. But because it's still resting on a portion of the feed regulator, it's not just going to pull out. So what we need to do to get started is inspect this end of the machine. Let me see if I can give you a better look. So now we're looking down on the neck of the machine. This is where the hand wheel would go. This knob controls the length of the stitch. And when you screw it, I want you to watch this part right here. It's the actual feed regulator or feed block. When I turn the knob, you can see it moves ever so slightly. If I turn it the other way, it's going to push it back the other way. And when the machine is all together, that's going to be how we adjust the stitch length. So in order to get this off, we first need to loosen this hinge screw here and take it out. So that's what we're going to do first. So I'm going to make sure that my bit is a nice fitting bit. I'm going to put the screwdriver down in the slot, but I'm pushing down and I'm just, there we go. I was able to break that screw free. It's very stiff in there. So we want to go ahead and twist this out all the way. I feel how stiff that is. I'm just going to put a little penetrating oil in there, see if it will work down in. Yeah, oh, what a difference that makes. So I think it's all the way free. The threads are free. So see if I can pull it out now. It's coming free. Here we go. See? Nice long hinge screw. Has to go through a lot of space before it actually screws into that feed regulator. So we'll set that aside, and you should also have this little spring washer that comes off with it. Now the trick is to turn this feed regulating thumb screw and also have your finger on this feed regulator up inside. I'm kind of lifting it up. I'm trying to get it off the feed regulator. There, okay. It's caught on my finger. When I let it go, it's going to drop. When it drops, the feed fork is going to be free, the feed regulator is free, and the little roller that goes on this pin on the feed fork should all come out. So when I have those parts out, and you just need to turn this and kind of wiggle that block until they separate. But now we can just turn this and it will come all the way out. If this is really stiff, turn it as much as you can out, put some oil, penetrating oil in the threads, spin it back in, keep doing that a couple times, and it will help get some of that gunk moving for you. But this will screw all the way out now. There we go. So let's look at this. We removed the hinge screw and spring washer out of the end of the machine first. Then we started to turn the thumb screw, the feed regulating thumb screw, while putting our finger on the bottom end of the feed regulator, kind of jiggling it and moving it until it released, it broke free, because these parts work together and we'll have fun getting them back in, trust me. But we had to kind of separate them. Then we were able to screw this out all the way, and when this freed from the thumb screw, it also freed the feed regulator from the feed fork and roller. So this roller is what fits in here, a little slide roller, and that's rocking back and forth when we adjust the stitch length. So now that we have all of the parts out, we can clean them. There's really nothing left on this machine that I want to take off. I may have removed a few parts in the nose that I didn't show you on the video, and I honestly can't remember now. But we can remove this thread guide just by removing this screw. If you want to take that out so you can polish the body of the machine, by all means, go ahead. This is like a tension pin releasing lever, this thing right here. And basically it's what is lifted when we lift the presser foot lever. And the slide block for the presser foot is in this cutout right here. They work together and they move this lever forward and it pushes on the tension pin stud. And that's how our tension is released whenever we're pulling our fabric away from the machine. So this can be taken out as well. Let me see if I can show you. So on this machine, do you see this pin right here? It's sticking out actually a little bit farther than it was just a minute ago. It's a pin that punches out. It's tapered. So it punches out from the back of the machine and it pushes in from the front. They're pretty tricky to remove. Sometimes I can't get them out. So for me, unless I were painting the machine, I probably would feel comfortable leaving it and just flushing this area out really well, probably with kerosene or something like that, so I don't have to worry about the finish getting damaged anywhere. But if you were able to punch it out, you need the right size punch, and right back here, this is the hole. And so what I did is with a punch, just using my punch to tap it out. There it goes all the way. So this is the pin, and believe it or not, this end is skinnier than this end. So this is the end that will go out whenever I put this back in. But I can just lift this lever out now. Now there's a spring in here. I don't know if you can see it. It's right there. I'm going to leave that there. I'm just going to clean around it. So the way that this lever comes off is this exactly the same. It's punched out from this point right here from the back. When you are whaling on these, you need to be careful though, because you can mushroom the end of this pin by pounding on it too hard, maybe not having the right size punch, and then you're kind of in trouble. I've heard of people breaking them too, and I don't know how easy it is to get replacements for these. So if you really don't need to take this out and you're able to clean around it with Q-tips and stuff, that's what I would recommend doing. Let's go ahead and take this off real quick too. It's going to bother me if I don't. So this is just left to loosen. There we go. Very short little screw, and you should be able to just wiggle that out. So there's another thread guide that we took off. So we have the thread guide, the tension pin releasing lever, and the pressed in pin. Of course, the feed fork, remember we took the eccentric screw and nut off in the last video, the feed regulator, the feed regulating thumb nut. This is a roller that goes on the feed fork, and the hinge screw and washer that screws into the feed regulator. It's the last thing we'll put on when we reassemble this portion. So congratulations, you have taken apart your machine as far as we will take it apart in this series. We are ready to start cleaning the body and cleaning the parts on the machine. I left in the main shaft. I'm not taking that out. This machine spins freely. I'm going to try to clean it up the best that I can with places where I have access to reach some of these parts, and I'm going to call it good. So in the next video, what we are going to do is we're actually going to go ahead and disassemble the motor. There are parts on the motor that I do want to clean, and I'd rather clean all the parts at once. So the next video will definitely be electrical on this machine, then cleaning and polishing. We'll go ahead, put the motor back together, fix the wiring, then reassembly. So almost halfway through, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you learned something. I'll see you guys again really soon. Bye.